Hello again. Welcome to Storytime with Miss Kelly. This is our final selection on mythological creatures, and I thought I'd end with the beast of the beasts, dragons. And this is a compilation of stories about dragons put together by John Mallam. In case anybody's wondering, dragons have been around for a long time. I should say stories of dragons, and they are in just about every culture in the world. So we're going to start off in a small country in Europe called Denmark. And we are going to hear about Beowulf and the dragon. Kids, remember that name, Beowulf. You will hear it again in high school. So here's a story about Beowulf. In time, a warrior called Beowulf came to Denmark and killed Grendel. When the monster's mother wanted revenge, he killed her too. Beowulf became a hero as his fame spread far and wide. Many years later, Beowulf fought a dragon that guarded buried treasure. Thieves disturbed the dragon in his lair, and it breathed fire across the land. Beowulf took up his sword. He fought the dragon, but its scales were like armor, and Beowulf's weapon was useless. Another warrior came to Beowulf's help, and between them, the dragon was killed. But there was a price to pay. Beowulf had been bitten by the dragon, and its deadly poison flowed through his veins, and his life came to an end. The warrior was laid to rest with great treasure in a burial mound beside the sea. That's a traditional Danish burial. I skipped the first part. I just looked at that. I just skipped the first part. The dragon's name was Grendel. And each night, Grendel came from the swamp, and no matter how hard they fought, the Danes were defeated. As you can see, he breathed fire and set fire to all of the houses, and so Beowulf took care of them at his own cost. The next section, we're going to go to another country in Europe called Switzerland. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of Switzerland. If you like chocolate, you might have heard of Switzerland. Big Alps, big mountains there, and it's in the middle of Europe. So this is the dragon that crash landed. So this is another legend. In the year 1421, a dragon was flying to Mount Pilatus near Lucerne, Switzerland. It was one of many dragons that lived in caves high on the mountain's snowy peaks. On its way home, the dragon crashed into the ground and startled a farmer who was out walking. When the farmer, whose name was Stepflin, saw the great beast flapping its wings and trying to take off, he fainted. Stepflin had no idea how long he lay on the ground, but he awoke with a start. He looked for the dragon, but it was nowhere to be seen. Would anyone believe his story, or would they say that he had fallen asleep and had a dream? The confused farmer went over to where the dragon had crashed and saw a pool of blood. It was the dragon's blood, and in the middle was a strange red stone. Stepflin knew it to be the dragon stone. He picked it up and took it home. From that day on, it brought him good luck, as it had power to cure any illness or injury. Pretty cool, huh? And this is a picture of Mount Pilatus, which is home to friendly dragons. Now, we've always heard of nasty dragons, but sometimes there are some friendly dragons. Okay, let's take another adventure. Okay, we are headed to the Middle East and North Africa. There's a country called Turkey that is right between where Europe and Asia start, and Libya, which is in the northern part of Africa near Egypt, if you have a reference for that in the map. And this is the story of George. So, the city of Cylene in Libya, North Africa, was troubled by a dragon. At night, it breathed poison among the people who lived in fear of that monster. Boy, he looks kind of creepy, doesn't he? Look at. Ugh. Every day, the people took the dragon 2 sheep and hoped it would leave them in peace. But there came a time when the town folks had used up nearly all their sheep. So they started to leave the dragon 1 sheep and 1 person. The human victim was chosen at random, and one day the king's daughter was picked. Uh-oh. At first, the king refused to let his daughter die, but she had no choice. Dressed in her wedding clothes, the princess was taken to the dragon's lair. As the princess awaited her death, a traveler rode by. His name was George. The princess told him about the dragon, and he promised to save her. When the dragon came near, George rode towards it and wounded it with its spear. He told the princess to tie her belt around the dragon's neck and lead it to the city. On seeing the dragon, the people fled in terror. George promised to kill the dragon on one condition, that the king and all of his people became Christians. This they did, and so George slayed the monster and saved the townfolk. This is supposedly the legend of St. George. This is a very famous story, especially in England, and it's a big deal. They have a King George Day. Apparently on April 23rd is King George Day. So, as well as, he is the patron saint of Aragon and Catalonia in Spain, different sections of Spain, as well as England, Lithuania, Palestine, Portugal, Germany, and Greece. Wow. George really made the rounds, didn't he? Okay, last one. We're going to China. And this is a story about the dragon and the phoenix. Now, if you were on for my mythical creatures about animals that fly, you would know about the phoenix. So this is a teaming up of the dragon and the phoenix. So the dragon and the phoenix lived on an island. One day they found a beautiful pebble in the riverbed. They decided to polish the pebble until it became a round white pearl. When they finished, they had created the most perfect treasure. The pearl gave off a soft, glowing light. As time passed, news of the precious pearl spread until Ji Wang Mu, the queen mother, learned about it. From this moment, she wanted it. One night, as the dragon and the phoenix slept, the queen mother sent a servant to steal the jewel. And when he returned with the prize, she locked it away. The dragon and the phoenix searched the island, but the pearl was nowhere to be found. It was only when they went to the queen mother's palace that they saw a similar light, the light of the pearl. Inside the palace, the queen mother was showing the pearl to her friends. Suddenly, the dragon and the phoenix rushed in to take it back to their treasure. In the struggle that followed, the pearl was thrown from the window. It hit the ground and became a lake. The dragon and the phoenix settled beside the lake. They became mountains that still guard the treasure inside the lake from that day until this day. And apparently it became the Jade Dragon Mountain, which is in a certain section of China, which is really cool. I like the way it has the smoke coming out of the top. It looks like breathing fire from a dragon. It's kind of neat. Those are all the stories that we have for dragons. I appreciate you listening and hanging on. If you like this video and would like to hear more stories, go to my YouTube channel, A Right Perspective, and that's right spelled WRITE, and make sure to hit subscribe. And until next time, happy reading. I will be starting a new back to school set in the next couple of weeks. Bye.